Summary of Nelson Mandela's life and career, the global sower of peace. Childhood and origins, 1918 to 1930. Rolihlahla Mandela, his birth name, was born on July 18, 1918, in Mvezo, Transkei, South Africa, part of the Thembu tribe of the Xhosa people. Rolihlahla means troublemaker, evoking a strong, unyielding spirit. His father, Gadla Henry Mfakani-Iswa, a village chief and Thembu councillor, lost power when Mandela was young, plunging the family into financial hardship. His mother, Nosekeni Fanny, one of several wives, raised Mandela among many siblings in a small village. When his father passed away in 1927, a tribal leader adopted him, living in a dignified place, absorbing traditional education about local culture and history, fostering a sense of communal responsibility. Mandela learned leadership through village meetings, witnessing colonial injustices, sparking early political awareness. At 7, he entered a missionary school, named Nelson, the first in his family to study, engaging with Western education, broadening his perspective, and laying the foundation for his pursuit of justice and equality. Enthralled by tales of pre-colonial freedom, he developed an open-minded, reconciliatory outlook, learning to listen to differing views. Amid harsh colonial realities, Mandela nurtured a vision of community unity, preparing for a lifelong journey to fight for justice and societal progress in South Africa. Youth and Political Awakening, 1930 to 1940. Mandela studied at Clarkberry Boarding Institute and Helltown, honing academic and leadership skills in a strict colonial education system. Through books and experiences, he embraced liberal ideas, fostering a resolve to combat injustice and beginning to believe deeply in the power of multiracial unity for a just future. In 1937, he entered Fort Hare University, a key academic center for black students. There, he met Oliver Tambo, a lifelong friend and ally. Together, they boycotted student council elections, opposing colonial control and racial discrimination, showcasing early defiance against oppressive governance. In 1940, he was expelled from Fort Hare for resisting school policies. Fleeing an arranged marriage, a tribal leader sent him to Johannesburg. He worked as a mine guard and law firm clerk, witnessing firsthand the legal injustices of a biased judicial system under apartheid. Living in impoverished areas among workers, he saw stark inequality, earned a bachelor's degree through correspondence, and studied law at a prestigious university. Meeting multiracial activists, Mandela realized unity was key to fighting apartheid, shaping a strong reconciliatory vision for his political path ahead. Early career and ANC involvement, 1940 to 1950. In 1944, Mandela joined the ANC, embarking on a relentless fight for black rights amid harsh racial segregation. With Tambo and others, he founded the ANC Youth League, inspired by African nationalism, emphasizing self-determination, cultural pride, and aspirations for a fairer society. That year, he married Evelyn Mays, a devoted nurse, and had 4 children, Thembekile, Makaziwe, lost early, Makatho, and another Makaziwe. Their marriage grew strained as Mandela prioritized politics, often absent, engaging in movements challenging the discriminatory regime, driven by a vision of justice. In 1948, the white government enforced apartheid, banning interracial marriage and segregating neighborhoods. In 1952, Mandela led the Defiance Campaign, collaborating with Asian groups, calling for civil disobedience against unjust laws, defying risks of repression and arrest, spreading the spirit of resistance. Rising as a senior ANC leader, he opened a law office with Tambo, aiding black access to justice in an unfair system. His multiracial collaboration and reconciliatory spirit laid the groundwork for a broad resistance movement, forging alliances for freedom and equality in a divided society. Intense struggle and imprisonment, 1950 to 1964. In 1956, Mandela and 155 others were arrested in a treason trial, lasting until 1961, ending in acquittal, but disrupting his family, leading to divorce from Evelyn Mays. He married Winnie Madikizela Mandela, having 2 daughters, though she sparked controversy for violent acts in poor areas, complicating the movement. After the Sharpeville massacre in 1960, where forces harmed 69 peaceful protesters, ANC was banned. Initially against violence, Mandela founded Umkhonto we Sizwe in 1961, leading targeted sabotage of apartheid infrastructure, avoiding casualties, aiming for political pressure and dialogue, reflecting a cautious strategic shift. In 1962, he was arrested after trips to Africa and England, seeking support and learning from liberation movements. In the Rivonia trial, 1963 to 1964, he declared, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic, free society. It is an ideal I am prepared to die for." Sentenced to life imprisonment at Robben Island, he held fast to reconciliation, believing struggle would foster unity, opening a future without division. Winnie's violent actions, though fueling resistance in poor areas, stirred controversy, challenging the movement's unity despite Mandela's vision for peaceful change. Life in prison, 1964 to 1990. Mandela, prisoner 466/64, endured 27 years in Robben Island, Pollsmoor, and Victor Verster, facing harsh labor and tiny cells. Political prisoners faced worse treatment than common criminals, with meager rations, yet he organized study groups, teaching politics, history, philosophy, maintaining discipline, inspiring unyielding resolve. Isolated, he became a global inspiration. Freedom campaigns grew, backed by ANC exiles and international groups. Economic sanctions, arms embargoes, and cultural boycotts from many nations weakened the regime, pressuring talks with the liberation movement, elevating Mandela's stature as a symbol of justice. From 1985, he held secret meetings with justice official Kobe Coetzee, building trust over years, laying groundwork for democratic dialogue despite comrades' doubts. Refusing conditional release, he insisted personal freedom tied to national liberty, reinforcing ideals with Walter Sisulu, steadfast in their pursuit of justice. His forgiving spirit shone, understanding wardens, engaging adversaries, believing reconciliation could end conflict, forging a united future. With Sisulu's support, he upheld resolve, despite rising global and internal pressures, enhancing his humane legacy through the symbolic prisoner number 466/64. Liberation and national leadership, 1990 to 1999. In 1990, Mandela was freed when leader F.W. de Klerk lifted the ANC ban, ending apartheid. He led democratic talks, from secret 1985 meetings to CODESA with negotiators. Ethnic clashes and Chris Hani's harm in 1993 threatened chaos, but Mandela urged calm on television, strengthening national trust. In 1993, he won the Nobel Peace Prize, advancing the 1993 interim constitution for 1994 elections. As first president, he invited de Klerk as vice president, formed the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and reformed via RDP, though hampered by corruption and limited resources in a complex landscape. His term faced inequality, crime, and ethnic tensions in poor areas. He welcomed adversaries to events, embodying forgiveness. Ties with Winnie Madikizela Mandela worsened over her violent acts, leading to separation and divorce in 1996, sparking human rights debates at the Reconciliation Commission. Committing to one term, he stepped down in 1999, married Graca Machel, reinforcing his humane image. Despite economic and ethnic challenges, he laid democratic foundations, inspiring through global freedom songs, opening a path for lasting national reconciliation and unity across diverse communities. Final years and legacy, 1999 to 2013. Post-presidency, Mandela founded the Nelson Mandela Foundation and Children's Fund, aiding education, health, orphans, and Africa's poor. A global voice for peace, his health weakened from prison years. Meeting Walter Sisulu, he spread humane messages, touching leaders and ordinary people alike. In 2004, he retired to family but led 46,664, organizing concerts to fight disease stigma worldwide. He earned over 250 awards, including Bharat Ratna, Presidential Medal of Freedom, and honorary degrees, cementing his universal impact as a beacon of justice and compassion. Known as Madiba, he inspired reconciliation, meeting poor children, radiating kindness. In 2009, the UN declared Mandela International Day, July 18, honoring 67 years of struggle. Family and grandchildren offered private solace, grounding his deep commitment to humane values. In 2013, he passed in Johannesburg at 95, after prolonged illness. His state funeral drew world leaders, reflecting his global human rights legacy, from South Africa to beyond, leaving lessons of tolerance and lasting peace through unity across diverse cultures. Contributions to humanity. Mandela ended segregation without major conflict, forging a united nation through reconciliation, a globally celebrated feat from prison. He learned forgiveness, treating wardens kindly, building respect, inspiring resilience despite ongoing challenges like inequality and crime in his homeland. He welcomed adversaries at his inauguration, established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, healing apartheid's wounds with truth over vengeance, saving his nation from strife, influencing global civil rights, despite critiques of post-term corruption, showcasing his enduring moral leadership. His trial and inauguration speeches became beacons of hope, urging unity beyond race, religion, inspiring activists worldwide. He proved suffering could fuel strength, leaving lessons of equality, humanity, amplified by international movements, including freedom songs echoing his name across continents. Mandela's legacy promotes dialogue over hatred, a flame of justice, freedom, and lasting peace through compassion, inspiring new generations globally. He affirmed humane values transcending time and space, an eternal symbol of unity, justice, and reconciliation for all humanity.